Hi friends, happy Tuesday. I'm sitting down, I'm about to do my personal development, but I had a couple things that I wanted to talk about. I just shared them all in my stories. If you follow me there, you've probably seen the cliff notes of this. But the biggest part of your journey, I know sometimes we get caught up and we think it's about how fast you get through a program, how committed you are to your nutrition, what the number says, what the data says. You guys, that's just a reflection of what's happening in here and in here. And if you've been around for a minute, you know I'm a die-hard Kristen Boss fan. I just freaking love her. I've recently signed up for her leadership school. But I'm in her academy and she does a lot. The foundation is thought work because our thoughts dictate our reality. We all have stories around our journeys, around literally everything in our life. We all have stories and sometimes we don't even recognize it's a story. So if you haven't done this yet, I want you to take some time today, turn on some music. I turned on Thinking Music on YouTube. And I want you to just literally brain dump some stories that come up for you. And you might be like, I don't know what that means. It's like every thought, that's a limiting thought. I want you to puke them. I'm not consistent. I'm a quitter. I don't know how to do this. I feel overwhelmed. I don't belong. I am rejected by so-and-so. All of those things, while they may 100% feel true and real to you, they're also stories that we tell ourselves. And a lot of times our stories serve us, right? Because it's like a protective mechanism, or maybe we don't even know that we're so ingrained and indoctrinated with our story. But in my experience, the more work I do, the more I realize it's just layers of a story, and you can change your story. Every story has a thought behind it, and every thought has a feeling behind it. And those feelings dictate whether or not we're going to show up, how we're going to show up, the decisions, the actions that you're going to choose. It's all interconnected. So what stories do you have that are keeping you from next level in your life? Yes, I want you to do a workout. And yes, I want you to follow a nutrition program. I want you to drink your water. I want you to focus on finding your wins and collecting all the good things. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, if you don't work on this and this, the rest of it doesn't matter, because your thoughts and your belief system is going to dictate, it's going to create the outcome of they're going to give you the results. So unless you have these abs that you can grate cheese on, not that that's a goal, that's very unsanitary, okay? But unless you're living the most epic life, you have all the money and abundance you want, you have this epic cool marriage, you are literally living your most dream ideal life, there's work that we get to do. And I think sometimes we allow it to overwhelm us and we get so focused on what we don't have, we stop noticing all the little miracles and all the little wins along the way. And so taking time to do thought work every day, whatever that looks like for you, maybe it's meditating, maybe it's journaling, I don't know, it's a personal practice, right? But I think that there's so much value in this, you guys. This is why I also share so much about the necessity of personal development, because sometimes we have to replace our story with someone else's story, with someone else's words. Sometimes the stories we have around our journey, the ways we're not going to win, or it's going to take too long, or I don't know if I'm capable of that, or I don't know if I could do that, or I don't know what I'm supposed to do. We allow ourselves this confusion, and the confusion just wastes time and space and energy. You are the superhero in your life, and you were created to have an epic life and to make an impact and to feel super good in your skin, both today and at the end of the journey. All right? It's not just about the number. All the data, while important, it's just a reflection of all the other things happening. And I am a huge believer that when you change a mom's life, you change a family's life. And when you change a family's life, you change a generation. That always gives me goosebumps when I think about it. Being perfect. This isn't about having all your ducks in a row. Maybe they're at a rave like mine. But it is about becoming the version of you that you were created to be. That you were created to be. And it's not about how hard you're going to hustle and all the achievements you're going to unlock. It's not about that. It's about, do you feel proud of where you're at? Do you find joy in your day every single day? Are you living a life where you feel like you're making an impact and you are present and engaged and happy and joyful? And I think a lot of that is a heart set. right? And it always comes back to the story we have, the stories we tell ourselves, the limiting beliefs, the mean girl saga inside of our heads. So what's the point of this entire video? You're the superhero in your life, and your journey doesn't need to be linear. It doesn't have to follow this like XYZ plan. I want you to do personal development. I want you to commit to a program. I want you to get in the middle of the bed, and I want you to treat all of these things as something, as like your most favorite book ever. And you might put that book on the shelf every so often because life happens. Let's be real. But you open that book right back up to where you left off, and you just keep going. You just keep going, because it's not a race. It's not A through Z situation. This is you living your life. This is you navigating messy stuff. This is you doing heart work and head work and the things that will in fact change your life. So where are you at? Are you doing a workout? Are you doing personal development? Are you taking time to celebrate your wins? Are you getting in the middle of the bed? Are you plugging into the Zooms? Are you replying to my texts? Are you reaching out when you feel overwhelmed? There's nothing wrong with being overwhelmed. You need to have zero shame around that. But sometimes we use overwhelm as a defense mechanism. Sometimes overwhelm is just a story, because when you don't know what to do next, you just do the next right thing. That means you just turn on BOD and you try something new without this judgment, without this attachment that it has to be perfect, that you're going to commit, that it's going to follow a certain path. You're allowed to try different things. You're allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to change your story. But changing your story requires bravery. And it requires you to be honest, and it requires you to be vulnerable and to be messy. And all those things, sometimes we can look at them as weakness or messy or just too much work and effort. But I'm telling you, as someone who is like in the thick of it, it is worth it. You are worth it. You are 150% worth it. You are the superhero in your life. You don't need freaking TED Talks from me. You don't need someone to help you pick a program. You have people to do that. You have community to plug into. But at the end of the day, you get to do that for yourself. You get to choose that. So stop focusing on everyone else. Stop worrying about what you should be doing, and instead just do your next right thing. If that's going for a walk, great. If it's journaling inside out in the grass, that's terrific. Listen to something today that inspires you, and then decide what story you currently have, and let's dissect it. And if you need help, I'm here. But you can do this, okay? Your story can change. My story is changing. Every single day, I get uncomfortable and I do a little work on my story. And it's not always fun, but then I remind myself, when I change a mom's life, I change a family's life. And when I change my family's life, I change a generation. We are doing generational work here. Yeah, you thought you were just coming for booty gains, but you guys, we are here to do the deep work, the heart work, the soul work. This is what will transform your life. Okay? Okay. So what's your story? What are you committing to? What are you going to rewrite and reframe and pivot as many times as you need to next level your life, because it's worth it and you are worth it.